feel like we're on a game show here.
Just before they start, it's just a note on what has been said in the film. 5 years ago when we started District, it was literally just us trying to push Irish hip hop, and to have people like Bobby, to have people like Sold Out, Mabfield in the crowd, Slight Motif, like there's so many Irish media publications now doing their thing, and it's amazing to see. So this is the embodiment of all that work, and I'm going to stop talking and make some noise for everyone here on the panel.
I did not expect it to be this crowded at all.
They love you.
Yeah, so can we just kick off, or are we good to go? Yeah, so basically, welcome to the 1 year anniversary of the Sold Out podcast here live in Workman's. I mean, it's all because of you, Bobby. You put together an amazing documentary there on Irish hip hop. And I think it really is a testament to, as Eric said, the last few years that we've seen growth in this country, and all of these men sitting here can attest to that. So I just wanted to kind of ask you, like, how are you feeling in this moment now after debuting that?
I'm fucking sweating, and I'm seriously. Thank you so much, guys, for coming out. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I hope you guys like the film.
This is insane.
Yeah. So yeah, sweating.
Yeah. So basically, just to introduce everybody, obviously you know the director Bobby Zithelo, but we got Y-Axis, Nealo, and Flynn Johnson joined us on the panel as well. So yeah, we got a really good mix here today. So I suppose just like obviously we're sort of all in the documentary. So and we all spoke to you about hip hop for I spoke to you for about an hour, I suppose, that day. But you only saw a few moments, so there's a lot left to say. I would imagine. Like, how are you guys tonight?
Really good, yeah. chilling.
Good
I just want to say something real quick. This is strange, but 4 out of the 5. Oh no, wait, is it 4?
Yeah.
It would have been 5 out of 6 if Nonzus was here from Dublin 15.
Yeah, it's weird.
And we didn't know each other at all before it started.
You knew my principal.
I didn't know any rappers from Dublin 15 when like years ago. There was nobody. Like there was Costello maybe. Is he from there?
Yeah, Costello's
Little dialect, but lived in Blanche.
Paulie lived in Blanche, yeah.
But then there's nobody, and then all of a sudden there's like loads of people.
Yeah, there's a gang of us now.
It's crazy, yeah. It's mad. But fair play to Bobby on the documentary. Absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed watching it.
It's insane, bro.
Really enjoyed watching myself on the big screen.
Yeah, as if we didn't stroke our ego enough. Like, we're just going to get up here and talk for about 45 minutes. Yeah. How are you feeling, Nealo, after C-sessions last night?
Very rough. One of my friends puked in my car on the way home. It was rotten.
Yeah, not good.
Welcome to the full What's going on?
Hi, I'm Nonzus Magnus. I'm very late.
You made it.
Late motherfucker.
How's everyone doing? I just want to say congratulations.
Where were you, bro? Where were you?
I'll be honest, I got lost. Like,
that was the best entrance ever.
Yeah, the little barrel roll over there. It's
like a wrestling entrance.
Call me Rey Mysterio, fuck it.
It's good to have you here, bro. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, so I suppose I'll start out with you, Sean, Y-Axis, obviously.
Hello.
That whole documentary sort of anchored around your headline show. And that was a big moment for you because obviously I've kind of known you through some mutual friends for a while. So, give it up for Airplane Mode one time.
Post that shit on your story.
Anytime I see someone getting a flight, you see that get whacked out. You know, it's good branding.
Man, that's completely random. I did not plan that. It literally just happened. So it's really weird.
But yeah, how did that kind of feel? That culmination of all your hard work in that one show.
Honestly, it was fucking unreal. I didn't think that that's what was actually going to happen with the documentary. Like to see like all the rehearsals and work that was kind of being put into the show. Just like, I don't know, people usually don't see that side of the shows. They only see the side that like when you're actually performing, basically. So like, it's really cool to show all of that stuff and show the hard work that the guys were putting in. Shout out to everybody in Good Buzz for one time.
Yeah, for real.
There's somewhere. I see y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, and likewise, I mean, two men here as well are a testament to the growth that we're seeing in Irish hip hop as well. Obviously, Nealo, the first time I had you on the podcast, you know, I think you had like the October year just dropped. And I think when I met you, you only had like, I can't remember if it was like 1,000 or maybe it was 100 even, like monthly listeners. And then 2 months later, when I had you back, you had the song with Molly Sterling and you're up to like 10,000 already. And it's just such a testament to where the hard work can take you. I mean, I know you have your roots elsewhere and stuff, but it is a testament to just the hard work and the graft can bring you right now in the scene.
Yeah, like I think if you decide to do something, then and you really, really just do it every day, you're gonna get to where you like. People trick themselves out of all the shit that they actually want to do. Like subconsciously, you'd be like, "Oh no, I'll just go fucking get drunk with my mates or go do this job that I don't want to do anyway." You know what I mean? But like we trick ourselves out of the most important stuff in life. And I'm older than everybody here, and I've already done like years of touring and shit. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for this. And if I'm doing it, I'm going to the studio every day. I'm renting my own studio, and I'm like there every night. Like my missus is at home fuming, but like I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? If this is what I'm deciding to do, I'm gonna do it, and that's it. Like so. But I think everybody's doing that right now. Like, you know, it's there's a lot of people putting in that level of work because you have to get these level of artists. Like, look at the people on this panel. Like, it's like this man right here, one of my favorite artists, man. It's
You're
crazy.
one of the most respected
and I've never met
artists.
him before. Yeah. Never met him. I mean, he's from fucking 5
Is this
minutes
the
down the
first
road.
time?
Yeah, first time. Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah. I feel like how are you getting on tonight? Are you just stressing now that you were mad late?
Let me just say, yeah, I'm just good. I'm just great. I'm glad. I think I said enough. Yeah, that works. That works. Nah, I'm just glad to be here still. Anyway, you know, but.
Yeah, Bobby, if I can just go back to you for a second. Yeah. So, obviously we're all here tonight for Up Next. And I just wanted to sort of just ask, like, why did you pick Irish hip hop as a topic?
When I first started the project, I didn't see many films documenting Irish hip hop. Obviously, there's a lot of articles. Everything is being posted on social media. I wanted to take a different turn and make a film about Irish hip hop, but I didn't want to do like the typical documentary of sit down interviews and then live shots, sit down interviews and live shots. I wanted to focus more on the artists themselves and get to know them and understand why they picked music in the first place. I wanted to help push Irish music to the front as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously you guys, District Magazine and Sold Out are helping push the scene forward. I figured I have skills in like film. Why not just like help out as well?
100%.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because obviously like previously there's been documentaries and stuff that weren't so positive about hip hop as well. And I was just gonna like so out to the floor really here. What do you think has changed more so than anything? And I think that documentary kind of showed it visually. But what do you think has been some of the most important changes?
I'll let the artist speak on that, but I think quality has changed a lot compared to like 5 years ago, or maybe more than that. But I'll let these guys talk about that because they're the artists themselves.
I think one thing especially that's changed is the growing community. Like from all the people you can see right here, it's insane. Like, yeah, I know, like I can imagine half the guys who are doing and really struggling and building that initial foundation for people like us to do it. They weren't seeing this kind of support from their own, local people, your own friends, your own family. Like this is invaluable, and this is the type of thing that really does just skyrocket a whole movement, It's wonderful, honestly, and that's why people like me, Waxes, Nealo, Flynn Johnson, we're grateful for this, So that like the fact that we can do something like this now is just, so like. And like you said too, there hadn't been it documented, it covered, it exposed and shown this type of light before, How it's been shown now, it lets you know, like, even especially for the upcoming people, like your younger brothers, your youths, the people you grow up around too, the little kids like in junior school, whatever. By the time they're our age or whatever, the platform's just grown so much more for them. They can really do it themselves. And people are already starting to do, international shows. It's just like, look, anything the UKs or the Yanks are doing, like, we can do it better, low key. So, y'all agree,
Yeah, I think just adding to what Nonzus said there, I don't know how you follow up that, but I'm gonna try anyway. No, I think back in the day, and I talked to Bobby a lot about this. Back in the day when I started, it was a stigma almost to be a rapper in Ireland. It was almost like I'd say, "Do like, oh, what do you do? I make music. What sort of music? Oh, I rap. Pff, get out here." You know what I mean? Like that was the outlook on it. But now it's like, yeah, I'm a rapper. The conversation is switched up now. It's like, yeah, I'm a rapper. And they're like, oh, did you have stuff on Spotify, YouTube? I'll check that shit out. And then if they like it, they share it. And it's just, I think it was almost like a stigma that was attached to it being a rapper in this country. And I think that's completely overwritten now.
Yep. I think there's two things in my mind that make a huge difference. The first one is the work that the early guys put in, like the Little Dialect, Costello, Scary Era, GI, all those people, like they put in the groundwork for people to do it now. And then the second thing is probably immigration. It's like you have like so many people from around the world moving to Ireland now, and like with this culture of hip hop, and it just changes the kind of game a little bit. And it's one of the more positive, like people talk shit about immigration, like the generation above us will say, oh, there's too many people moving to the country. But we're seeing the positivity that brings, you know, within this. And I just think that's one of the main reasons that it's exploding right now. And hip hop as a genre is just the biggest genre in the world anyway. So, yeah.
I'll say a few words. Hip hop's doing good, yeah. Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's insane to see like all of this happen. Like even when I started out, like I remember this guy over here, Nonzus, he's the one that kind of like made me believe in myself a lot more as well back in the day. Like literally,
what was that track you two did?
The first
we
one.
have like a few together.
You have like
Dirty Bug.
Dirty Bug.
Yeah. Sounds dirty. Yeah, well, we did Dirty Bug and we had like the remix of Jackie Chan. Yeah, me and this guy, like back then, like there was like not much platforms. District were doing their thing, and shouts to District for back in the day supporting, because like that's where shit stemmed from, honestly, and they still do. Same as Sold Out and everyone else doing it. But yeah, we had your SoundCloud, and we weren't using Spotify or Apple Music. Like that was the unprofessionalism of it. And then you see other artists, like one group is Hair Squad. They're still doing their stuff right now, but back then, like they were signed to a label, and they were really like I was close enough to these, like I would consider them friends. And then to see them just, oh, they're on a label, they're touring with Dua Lipa, they're doing all this, and then they're in my fucking house, like, you know, it really makes you believe in it, like, and like, it just goes to show how much more connected stuff is as well, you know. That's one of the things that really made me believe in it too. And then I was like, they're on Spotify, they're on Apple Music, we should do that. Like, why not? I look into it, oh, you can do it. There's loads of other stuff, like having just everything, like, actually, I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff, right? It's not coming in my head. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it, my. Nah, but yeah, as you're saying as well. And one more thing I feel like you might have left out is just being spontaneous. Because I initially did start music because of my friend, initially because of myself, but with the help of my friends, the people around me, people who would motivate me for a good time before I actually put out my first song. And for instance, like you said, like, you know, your local friends, like whatever, Hair Squad, like Y-Axis, me and him at one point, I remember it was like, it was 2017, it was January. I was like, Sean, let's go Berlin. And just, let's just go Berlin and like work on some music. And literally like for a week, I don't even lie, I was in uni. But like, like for a week, we just went to Berlin and we just cut so many tracks for my first EP and stuff, you know? And then like other moments like that, you just do, once you get like that idea, like to actually, you know, initialize it, just go straight for it, you know? Because the longer you hinder yourself, the longer you're like, you know, I might do it this time, or maybe no, it's not the right time. You may eventually not do that. And even on one instance there, I had actually lost all my work. And it was a process where I was really just thinking about everything. Because it's like, you know the best things you put out or you can put out. You know the people who are willing to support you. But if you don't deliver at that time, like slowly time kind of ticks away, you know? And I had like a lot of what I would consider bangers or whatever, but I would put out like the smaller tracks, or sometimes I wouldn't put anything out at all. And it was from some self-doubt, not sold out, but like, Yeah, just throw some tomatoes at me. That was trash. Nah, but eventually it was a learning experience. I realized, just go for it. Everything you want to do. I started to hit back that mentality from when we went to Berlin that time. And once again, from the help of people like Sold District Magazine, shout out to them as well, because they really do. They are a pillar for the community, essentially. They really are. So yeah, just keep that in mind too. That's spontaneity.
Yeah, good time. So Bobby, just if I can come back to you again, just because this night's all about you, I think, if I'm not mistaken. One thing that I thought was really great about the documentary, and I don't think it maybe watching it, I don't know if you get this sense, but your questions when you spoke to all of us, you had it yourself a really good understanding of what was going on right now. I just wanted to ask, where did your initial interest spark? Like, what was the first bit of Irish hip hop that you saw that really?
It started with over there, Flynn Johnson. I've known him since I was like 10. I was introduced to him as a rapper, nothing else. And then a few years later, I checked out this rapper called Awkward Z, and the quality in his music was amazing. I was like, oh my god, there's actually some quality in Irish hip hop right now. And that's when it kind of came up. I didn't see, when I was talking to other people about Irish hip hop, they didn't know much about it. They would mention a Kojak or Jafaris. And I was kind of thinking, there's so many other rappers that these guys should meet. So the idea of this documentary was to introduce people know little about Irish hip hop. It's to introduce them to Irish hip hop and maybe bring them to some events in the future, or encourage them to listen to Irish hip hop as well. I think that would help push the culture forward in my sense. Anyway.
Yeah, for real. And one thing, Sean, I thought that was really interesting that you said as well is when Irish hip hop, I think, hit Apple Music and Spotify, I think that's when things really begin to change as well. With New Music Friday and some of the playlists and stuff that are playing, it's really bigging up Irish hip hop internationally as well. So how do you think nearly the music industry has sort of changed around independent artists kind of blowing up?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's because it's on Spotify and Apple now, and that's just, people aren't buying fucking CDs, that's just the end of it, So it's actually easier for you to find new artists though, because you don't have to go into a CD shop every single day or week or whatever. When you did buy CDs, it was always the big main artists. You're not going to go in and buy a local band CD, because they're not on a label, they're probably be in the back shelves or whatever. But now it's everyone can promote their stuff their own way, and it's just literally, if you're from Ireland, you could be living underneath a fucking rock and no one know, but your music might have 1 million fucking views. It's just, am I allowed to curse? Yeah, I am. Right? Yeah, okay. I tend to do that. But yeah, but literally, just because of that, more people are starting to see it. You're being connected with different countries and stuff, because that's the great thing about Spotify. For most artists, you all notice that you can check who's actually listening to your music and see what countries, what cities.
What's the weirdest country?
Oh, I don't know.
Zimbabwe for me. Zimbabwe, they were listening to. I think we had 3 listeners in Zimbabwe.
Shout out.
Yeah, sorry, I flew over there last week, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, how long overall, Bobby, did the documentary take you to put together?
That's a tough question because the film you just watched is not finished. So I don't know. No, it's not finished. I'm still interviewing people at the moment.
Taking applications.
Yeah, so maybe roughly 3 months so far, and there's a few months I still have to add in. Yeah, so sorry to break the ice. It's not finished.
Do you have any future ideas to retackle this in a few years?
Yeah, I think I talked to you about it. That I might revisit this and do a series on it. I don't know if I can give away some ideas tonight.
Obviously not.
Yeah, but no, I am planning to visit this topic again, but in a different style, not just the growth of Irish hip hop, but in another way.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. One thing as well, though, I think is really interesting. Yes, you were about to.
I was going to say Burner Records.
Yeah, shout out.
Shouts to Burner, boys.
I was actually going to go to you, Nealo, just in terms of how you saw coming from hardcore and stuff into hip hop. What was the difference in terms of community and stuff? Because did you have this buzz in like hardcore in terms of community and the scene, or how is it different?
There'd never be something like this where you'd be sitting on stage talking and people would be actually paying attention.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, it'd be more so like there'd be like 4 people there and like the rest of them be out in the beer garden getting pissed or something. Ask me about the differences in community.
Yeah, sort of.
They're very similar but very different genres. It's like there's a mad community aspect in hardcore, but there's no commercial accessibility to it. So like with hardcore music, whenever it gets popular commercially, all the bands take a shift to the left to avoid it.
Yeah.
Whereas in hip hop, it's like people kind of try to get to the commercial level. So that's one huge difference. But they're very similar in terms of like how supportive everybody is, especially the artists. Like I love that. My favorite thing is to go to a gig and talk to all these artists that make music as well. That I've listened to their tunes. Like they're like some of the best nights I've ever had. Just been talking to
photographers and videographers.
Yeah, they're artists as well, though. You know, it's not like just a rapper. Like everybody's an artist in terms of that's contributing something. You know, but the one difference, like hardcore, was very like a kind of like a male dominated genre. Like the music was violent, the pits were very violent. And like in hip hop, there's a lot more females at the gig, which is great, and there's more people involved. No, I'm not saying like that, but it's my wife here. But this is a huge difference, and it's weird because punk talks about it's from a very left wing part of society, but there's not that many like women at the shows, or even people of color or anything, you know. But in hip hop, it's like there's loads of women at the shows. There's women artists, you know. We need more, obviously, but like there's people of color. It's just like a wider spectrum of society. Whereas hardcore music in Ireland was just like white dudes like fucking going and killing each other. But it was great. Like had a good time. You know?
And Flynn as well, man. How are you getting on tonight? Obviously, you had probably some of the best looking shots in that documentary. Whereabouts was that shot?
I can't say.
Undisclosed.
Secret location.
No,
man, I love this. I love, as just to add to what Nealo said, that the sense of community in this genre of music, in Irish hip hop on its own, it's incredible. Like I remember, I was saying to Bobby, like back when I was too young to even get into the clubs I was performing in. Like I was 17, I had trouble with the bouncer every single time. But I'd get into the show and we'd do the show in front of 10, 12 people. But then, like, to use Jafaris, for instance, I went to his album launch and it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was one of the best
things.
It was crazy. There were so many. Like, it was just to see that dynamic and see how much it has grown. It blew me away. Just to use that for an example, but. Yeah, man, I think I can speak on behalf of all the guys here that I'm blessed to be a part of this, blessed to be up here even speaking about myself on the screen. It's weird. But I'm truly honoured to be a part of this, and I always say to Bobby, I can't thank him enough, and I'm sure I speak for the rest of the guys when I say that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Big ups. Yeah. So basically as well, I just wanted to, one part about it in the documentary that was really interesting as well is the whole thing about the accents. And it goes into like
Here we go.
Yeah. You didn't just kind of focus on like all the positives, you kind of like zoned in on like some of the negatives in terms of hip hop as well, and you know, correcting the course almost a little bit in terms of that. Was that sort of your vision from the start with the documentary, or?
Yeah, I didn't really want to like celebrate hip hop and just like show you guys, hey, here's how great hip hop is. There's obviously some negatives we have to like face as well. Obviously the accent is one of them. And there's one thing I wanted to tackle as well, but I didn't get a chance to, is the lack of women represented in Irish hip hop at the moment. There was a playlist put out like a few months ago, the official Irish hip hop playlist or whatever. And I was flicking through it. I only found like maybe 2 female artists, and I was just like, all these guys on this list, and there's like only 2 female artists. That needs to be like addressed right away. That's something I'm trying to address with the documentary at the moment. Try to like represent every single voice in Irish hip hop, not just like
we're
male.
not doing a great job on this stage, are we?
No, unfortunately not. We'll fix it. There's time. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's that's one of my favorite parts about it as well, is that you kind of explored every avenue with it as well. But what it like was your sort of like? Did you expect all these people to turn out tonight for this?
I expected like 2 people to show up, just like
I
my
know,
mates.
same.
That's about it.
I expected us all to go for a smoke as soon as we got up here. Yeah, this is an honor. Like for me to be a part of this, it was surreal, to be honest. Because I'm not even an artist. I don't know why I'm really here, to be honest. And you know, it's an honor for District to let me sort of come up here and hijack this as well. Because you know that's who I look up to. That's who I was inspired for. So thank you, Eric, for letting me host this.
Big up.
For the great evening. Really appreciate it. Obviously, I'm just conscious of I have no idea how long we've been running. If we need to stop at any stage, someone just shout at us.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes.
One thing I actually forgot to mention is... Oh, we have time. Thanks, Eric. One thing I wanted to say as well, with people like making you believe in yourself and stuff, and like just the Irish hip hop scene and stuff. I mentioned Hair Squad earlier, but another group, an artist that I wanted to mention that I owe a lot to is actually Deja Vu and Bobby Basil and Chris.
Shout out Bobby Basil right there.
100%, because I like particularly remember one conversation where I seen these guys on YouTube, and like they're some of the guys that brought up the standard with their music and their videos. It was like just out of nowhere at one stage. I was like, what the fuck? This is fucking deadly. They're Irish. They got onto like Fader as well, that wasn't heard of from Ireland. And obviously I like checked them out. I seen them live. And I think it was Bernard Shaw back then or something. And they actually talked to me, you know? They spoke to me and they were like super sound. And I was like, whoa, shit, this is like a big artist. And then I fucking followed them on Instagram or whatever, and like text them every now and again. And like the fact that Bobby and Chris would reply to me, you know? Stuff like that. Like a lot of artists that you're never too big like for your own socks, you know? So fucking they're replying to me, and they made me believe in myself too. They said, oh, why don't you do music? I was like, oh yeah, I do a little. And they're like, I remember showing Bobby something and he was like, this is sick. And like that is when I was like, what? Like I genuinely
This is sick.
I wouldn't have released anything before that, and I was like, that really made me kind of think, fuck, like a bigger artist, someone that I'm looking up to is saying that, and it's just, it goes to show. So if you're an artist, you never know, like the little things that you do say to anyone, it does have a big impact onto them, and that's what Irish hip hop right now seems to be doing. It's having an impact, and more artists are growing. Like it's crazy. I clap for myself, force a habit.
I think that's an interesting point as well, because Nealo, we talked previously on a podcast about those little moments that the universe almost tell you that you're doing the right thing, if you know what I mean. So if we could go around and kind of talk about, like you said with Bobby Basil giving you those big ups on that track, what was some of those moments for you that really like that keep you going and keep you hustling, you know? Because I know you guys all work crazy hours, especially this guy. You were editing this up until today, if I'm not mistaken.
I literally finished this morning, so I haven't had any sleep, so we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to kick off.
What, do you want to go for it?
Oh, you go.
Go for it. Go on.
Go. Elders, let's go. You go.
Why don't we do an alphabetical order? Who's
Yeah, that sounds good. I think for me, one of the first ones was, what was it? I'm trying to think. My first 2 gigs ever were with my man Arbu in the Hull, which was like a hardcore punk venue. So it was like playing to people that already knew who I was and weren't even necessarily hip hop fans. But my 3rd gig was here with New Sense. Yeah. And it was like I had never met anybody in New Sense. Shout out New Sense actually, fucking savage. I had never met anybody in New Sense, and I didn't bring anybody purposefully. I didn't really promote it at all. I just wanted to go and play to a crowd that was like a hip hop crowd and see how it went down.
And not necessarily yours as well.
Not my crowd at all. And it was just like, they gave me such a warm reception that I was like, okay, maybe I am all right. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I can do it. And then from then on, like, I remember the next morning I wrote the best song like that I had written. Do you know what I mean? Just because of that. And probably because I was still locked as well. But like, it was just those little moments are so important, you know? It's like a message from the universe. Oh, keep going. You're on the right path, you know?
No, it's really important because we're all kind of like, you know, doing our own thing creatively. So it's important. I suppose who wants to go next, John?
No. So he's making me shy, man. I feel like consistently I get a lot of moments like that, you know? Essentially, you really want to move with conviction. You want to know that like what you do, you set your whole heart into. And obviously you're gonna have moments of doubt, you know, with everything, stuff in life, uni, work, everything. And music is no exception to that. But I guess the first time I started actually putting out music, it was just, you know, for fun and this and that. But I remember like my first song, like I don't know if anyone's familiar with Nuketown, but yeah. So like at the time I was making the beat for it, and I was actually in Hair Square's house. So I was chilling with Jesse, and I remember I played it for him, and he's just like, "Yo, show this to nobody." And I was just like, "Okay, maybe I should like, you know, try and do something with this." And then I had my first show, SOD, straight out of Dublin, and I was late to that as well. But when I came, it was warm welcome. A lot of my friends showed up. I was surprised. I was happy too. It was good to see everybody there, and it was just the vibe and the energy, you know. But then as I went on, like I kind of did get a firmer grasp of how everything works, you know. And essentially with anything you do, whether it's work and once again, anything really, you can't always expect everybody to be there, you know, especially your friends, because doing music, you kind of do forget everyone's living their own life. The perk of music is you get to connect with them regardless of where you are, you know? So at the next show I had, there was not much of my friends that turned down. I was like, okay, I need to learn how to really, you know, do things on my own, not rely on everyone else all the time. You know, it's great when the help is there, but you have to understand your surroundings, you have to do things, and you have to just push forward regardless. And then that's when like things started to change. Like as Wax said back then, there was no Spotify or anything for us or Apple Music. It was all SoundCloud. And I noticed my music started to like it was playing in places like in London or in the US and places and stuff. I remember people would message me like, "Oh, we just played your song in this store here." I was like, "What?" Like, yo, I've been doing music for like 3 months. You know what I mean? So, but it was that other aspect that like made me feel like, okay, I probably should be doing this, you know? And it was just that connection that I had with these people that weren't even in my same area or let alone my own school or whatever else, you know? People in freaking France and Berlin or whatever. I was like, geez, I don't even know this dude, but like, this is cool. But yeah, and that was another thing too, because obviously you wouldn't know half of these people, but over time you just start to, whether conversations or meeting them at events and this is not, it just plays back to that factor of community, like I said before. And that's so invaluable, like I said as well. There's like I said too, as I lost my all my files, it was you know, it was a down moment. To actually go back, you probably just start like lying down on the floor and crying again. No, but and this is on me. For anything you do, schoolwork, uni, anything, back up your stuff. I swear to God, just back up your stuff. So yeah, I was in London and I was heading to a show. It was one of my friends' show, and yeah. When I got back, my laptop just wasn't working. The hard drive had crashed, and I was like, "Oh, my stuff is on there," you know. And I just like for a solid like 2-3 weeks or something, I was just going through the motions. Like maybe this is a sign to stop music or whatever, you know. I was talking to my friends, and like they were just like, you know, just keep your head up and that, you know. Hopefully, like if you do when you get your laptop back, everything will be recovered. This and that. I wasn't too hopeful in the sense of like, oh, too optimistic. I was trying to be realistic with it. If it's gone for a reason. If I get it, perfect. I can, you know what I mean? Eventually I got it back and I got like everything I didn't want. And I was like, it is what it is, you know? From that moment, I just decided, nah, I'm going to push full forward even more now, you know? And then I was doing this and I remember I got my first festival and I was like, geez, okay. Maybe let's see where this goes. You know, let's see how we can do this. Once again, for my peers, like meeting from everyday conversations to people like Waxis, Zithelo. I met him for the first time this year as well. Super cool guy. Talked to Nealo a while. I met Flynn Johnson when I actually started making music in the studio in Ongar. And yeah, we just, you know, that aspect of having almost a mentor or like a big brother or a little brother or whatever else, it's a family almost, you know? It can really push your drive. It can really let you know, okay, you're messing up, like, you know, or you're doing good. And it's an important factor to have, you know. Little moments like that let you know you're really doing what you need to do. It lets you know you're on the right path.
You should be fucking hosting this. You should be hosting this. Yeah, and like in terms of like the festival thing, it's pretty crazy that like there are so many festivals now, and it's like and they're supporting Irish artists. Obviously, two playing Longitude here, like yeah, like there's loads of stuff happening between everyone that's sitting up here. One thing that I found interesting about the documentary as well is the difference in like the expression between all of you guys sitting here on the stage. Like you all make completely different types of hip hop and present yourselves in totally different ways. And do you think it was always like that, or has that changed sort of recently, or what do you think brought that about in terms of like expressing your own personality?
What do you mean? Seriously.
I just feel like if you follow any of you guys on Instagram, you get it, like, you know, you almost get to know you as an artist, and then when you start listening to the music, and I feel like that's where people start to connect a lot more as well, because obviously you're from your hometown and stuff. Like, you know, if you follow Nealo, you just see dogs being walked in the Phoenix Park, and do you know what I mean? And you get it, like, obviously your lyrics are quite introspective and everything like that, but I feel like it wasn't always that way with hip hop. Like, as you said, there was a stigma for a few years, you know what I mean? Or would you disagree?
Yeah, well, like a lot of it, like back when hip hop in Ireland was really starting, like before any of us were even fucking doing it, like it was a lot of time it's just based on where they were coming from and the struggles they were going through, and there weren't really a lot of rappers like from the countryside and stuff, like Costello and stuff. They were from Blanche, was it? Yeah, so like that's coming from their background, you know. So that's kind of what we had, you know. We had that story, but now, because we're all from different areas and stuff, you're starting to hear a lot of different stories, and that relates like to social medias and like Instagram, Facebook, us as an artist in our music. Like you'll start to hear that, and like not all of us we're branching out from hip hop. We're like not even just, oh, I want to make hip hop music. I want to be part of hip hop, but create, like add to it, innovate it, like kind of branch out slightly, you know. So you can see that through all of our music, that it's slightly different. Like I've listened to everyone's music here a billion times, and you can't put us in a box, like I don't think anyways, but yeah. I like the applause. I feel very welcome.
A big, huge congratulations, obviously, to you, Bobby, again. With the documentary, like, how did you sort of go about picking who you did here? Because that's like an interesting process in terms of.
I think you mentioned it early on, like all these guys have like different styles. I didn't want to like pick people with the same styles, because that can get kind of boring. I also wanted to like interview people who I thought had like interesting personalities and who can like say something as well. What's Eric doing?
Eric is sneaking up. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, sick.
So yeah, I wanted to pick people with like different styles who can just like I wanted to like represent people with like different styles. Because if you like pick someone who's like just like Flynn Johnson and like get 10 other rappers who are just like Flynn Johnson, you're not gonna get much insightful information. So if I get like someone like Y-Axis and mix it with like Nonzus, you're gonna get different views. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was my goal for this.
That it's kind of just where I'm getting at in terms of you didn't, you know, make a narrow-minded documentary about it. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that we all kind of like, I feel like agreed on a lot of things overall. Like you were able to put it together pretty well. That made sense. It's a testament to what's going on here in this room. And again, I just want to say thanks to everybody who came out tonight, and really appreciate it. Obviously, we're going to have some live performances, so you're going to see what we've been talking about for the last 45 minutes in action. So stick around for that. A big thank you to District Magazine again for letting us do this. Again, personally, it's a big honor as well, so thank you so much. And again, just one time for Flynn Johnson, one time for Nealo, one time for Y-Axis, one time for Bobby Zithelo, one time for Mr. Nonzus Magnus. And later appearance. We almost thought we lost you, bro. But yeah, thanks so much again. Obviously, big up Bobby Zithelo one time.
Hey.
Can I just end it? Can I just end it on one note? In 5 years, there's gonna be nothing left to talk about. And I promise
Facts.
Thanks everybody so much again. Thank you for that.